Hi, good afternoon. My name is Reshma Sankar. I'm the Livestock Officer of the Livestock Extension and Apiary units at the Regional Administration North Division, Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. With me is Mr. Kanaya Babulal. He's an AA3, which means simply he's the manager and supervisor of the Apiary section at the Regional Administration North Division. So we will be presenting on the ministry's bee abatement program in Trinidad. Okay. Okay, so just to show you a little background on the Africanized honeybee in Trinidad. The African bees, Apis mellifera scutellata, were accidentally released in Brazil in 1957 and invaded the European honeybee, Apis mellifera linguistica habitat. The hybridized offspring quickly spread and became established throughout South and Central America. The arrival of the Africanized honeybees in Trinidad changed the island's beekeeping history since July 1979 in County St. Patrick in southwestern Trinidad. And as you can see, where Trinidad is as compared to where Brazil is. So Brazil is at the end of South America. Sorry, to the western side of South America. So some fact versus fiction of the honeybee and the Africanized bees. In many ways, the Africanized honeybees and European honeybees are similar. Both have the same appearance, they sting only once, and they have the same venom. However, the Africanized honeybees do carry their distinct characteristics. They are more aggressive, they guard a larger area around their hives, they become upset more easily by humans, machinery, and loud noises. They respond faster and in larger swarms, and they can chase threatening humans and animals for as much as a quarter mile. Africanized honeybees are not choosy about where they settle. Their likely nesting sites include abandoned or rarely used vehicles, empty containers. So you will see to the top on the inside of an empty barrel. So there's a nest inside of there. Places and objects with holes. That is like in the case of the building on your extreme right. Fences, old tires, trees, and you can see in the photo there on a hive on the tree. In or around structures, such as the case as the photo in the concrete structure, garages, outbuildings, and sheds. So the photo that you're seeing on the with the nest on the building, they would have found a space and they would have started to build their nest from there. What causes swarming? Swarming is a natural process through which honeybees reproduce and pass along genes to the next generation. A colony prepares to swarm when bees are running out of room in the hive, when there's an abundance of food contained within the hive, and the colony has a high number of workers. The colony will divide and cast a swarm when any of these factors exist. And in the photo, you're seeing an example of a wild honeybee swarm. And this swarm is on the move and has not settled in any area to rest or to form a hive. In the administration of the apiculture industry, the regulatory function is managed by the Inspector of Apiaries. a cabinet-appointed non-enumerated post in the public service as defined in the Beekeeping and Bee Products Act of 1935. The current Inspector of Apiaries, Mr. Hayden Sinanan, with 26 years of knowledge and practical experience in apiculture, has been guiding the bee abatement program and expanding the apiculture industry in Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Sinanan, the Inspector of Apiaries, along with the Apiaries section staff of the Regional Administration North and Regional Administration South divisions, began a bee sensitization program for the ministry beginning of 2021. The apiary unit became more prominent with the arrival of the highly aggressive Africanized bees into Trinidad in 1979. Africanized honeybee colonies posed a heightened challenge to public safety in urban areas. And as you can see in the photo, this is a photo of a residential house, and the bees are actually in the soffit of this house. You really can't see where it is because of how the distance. And also they can be found on T&Tech poles. Even in this photo, you won't be able to see the swarm or the nest because of the distance of the photo. They also have a higher propensity to swarm and abscond and to be defensive as compared to European honeybees. An average of 80 to 100 calls are received monthly in the St. George West and County Caroni counties responsible for bee abatement under the Regional Administration North Division. In the function and operation of MALF'S Bee Abatement Unit, this falls under the Regional Administration Divisions, both North and South. And the functions include to respond to reports of sightings of swarming bees or feral hives that may pose a danger, identification of bees prior to abatement activity, will not remove beehives or spray bees unless a life-threatening emergency exists. Abatement crew will set up and implement disposal system of swarms, feral hives in a sustainable manner, since these bees are considered a dwindling genetic resource. And then you have the actual bee abatement process. So in the photo, you're seeing bees swarming and actually settling on a tree here. So we're going to go through the process of bee abatement. Step 1, the client must call the county office to request for abatement. Step 2, at the county, the operator or security will receive the call and record the request for abatement. Step 3, the supervisory officer will receive the recorded abatement request and will record all abatement visits made monthly. The supervisory officer will require to prioritize the calls based on the incidence of stinging. So firstly, schools will be considered first, secondly, the government offices, and thirdly, places of less threat. In step 4, the abatement crew will receive from the supervisory officer advice on priority locations, and they will prepare the spray can for abatement. So when the crew arrives on site, in step 5, they have to look at the situation. They have to judge the situation, and 3 things will take place based on their judgment. So if there's swarming bees, abatement will be performed if the swarm height is 15 to 20 feet high. The client will have to sign a receipt for abatement. If on-site non-aggressive bees, if the swarm height is greater than 20 feet, the caller is advised to contact a private abatement firm or beekeeper, and the supervisory officer follows up to ensure the client receives the abatement service and records attended by a firm or a beekeeper. And if on-site bees on a T&Tech pole, the caller is advised to contact the area office for T&Tech abatement crew. The supervisory officer follows up to ensure client received the abatement service and records attended by Tech. And step 6, the supervisory officer should follow up with the client to ensure bees are no longer on the property or in proximity to residential area. How to access the service for bee abatement of swarms of Africanized bees. So our contact information for North region is listed here. For Regional Administration North in QREP, our number is 663-2052 or 663-3531 or 663-4774 or 645-6284. So in the different counties, there are numbers. County Caroni and Chase Village 6720878 or 6722865. County St. Andrew St. David 6682448. County St. George West 6625127 or 6621886. County St. George East in Wallerfield 6678488. In case of emergencies after work hours, public holidays, and weekends, you need to contact the police at 999. Any stinging incidences, contact the ambulance services at 811. In the case of South Region, you may contact the Regional Administration South in San Fernando, and their number listed here is 225-4727 or 225-4637. And the numbers are listed for their county offices. County St. Patrick East in Pinal, 647-8460. County St. Patrick West in Point Fortin, 648-2384. And County Office of Nueva Mayaro in Rio Claro, 644-2326 or 644-2882. And County Office in Victoria in Princestown, 655-7526 or 655-3428 or 655-5637. And again, for any emergencies, after work hours, public holidays, and weekends, contact the police at 999 or any stinging incidences, contact the ambulance services at 811. So we want to create a safer environment for everyone. And to make the environment safer and reduce the risk of a sting, eliminate all potential nesting sites. Check walls and eaves of all structures. Close off wall, chimney, and plumbing related gaps that are more than 1/8 inch large. Cover rain spouts, vents, etc. with 1/8 inch hardwire cloth. Watch for regular entrance and exit routes used by swarms during the year, because swarming can happen anytime. Walk around your property frequently to observe bee flight. Teach children to use caution and respect all bees. Teach children to notify a teacher or adult if they find a nest or swarm. So we can now entertain questions, and thank you for attending our session today. Presentation is still up or not? Okay, so Kanaya and myself will take questions from you. Kanaya, can you answer that question? If there's any upcoming beekeeping courses?
Um, we trying to the Ministry of Agriculture North Region at El Reposo. We're trying to organize a course for late January, early February in 2022. That is 2 months from now.
You only get one question. If there is a,
There's no more
he's
questions.
asking if there's a list of registered beekeepers.
Yes, we do have a list of registered beekeepers, but it wasn't updated since 2016. According to the amount of beekeepers that came into the system from 2016 to now, could be anywhere around 800 registered beekeepers in Trinidad and Tobago.
Any advice when one comes into contact while farming?
Right. During the course of 2021, we had two deaths because of famine. My advice is when pay attention to your surroundings. You will hear the buzzing sounds of the bees. Stay away, stay calm. If you're operating machinery, switch off and call in the nearest agricultural office. Make a bee report because these bees, once it is a feral colony, it's going to attack because you interfere with their habitat. So my advice: stay calm, call in nearest agricultural office.
Yeah, asking if the list could be made available to the public. Actually, I could answer that question. No, it cannot be made because this is the data that belongs to the ministry, and we cannot divulge people information.
The information that we collect is confidential information from beekeepers. And as Rishma said, we cannot divulge that to the members of the public.
Any of the what associations, bed associations, Did you get that question?
Um, just from the gist of it, there's only one recognized beekeepers association in Trinidad and Tobago. It is Trinidad and Tobago Beekeepers Association.
Or if we collaborate with the bee association?
In Trinidad, there are registered farmers and there are non-registered beekeepers. Um, if let me say the Beekeepers Association need to get this list, um, they have to go to the Freedom of Information Act.
Give them one more minute. Oh, any more questions? Can I, if what's the distance for safe safe distance in residential areas for beekeeping?
The Beekeeping Act, the beekeepers is work with the Beekeeping Act. There's nothing in the act state the actual distance from the closest road or the actual distance from the closest house. But working with beekeepers for a little while now, they came up with a 200 meters from the closest house and 100 meters from the closest road. Um, and since that we working with that, is a relatively safe distance. Um, anytime you see farmers or beekeepers having beehives close to the road or close to the neighbor's house, that can be reported to the police or the agricultural office.
Yes, it's online. The Bee and Bee Products Act of 1935 is online. You can search for it. Okay.
I must say, the beekeeping industry in Trinidad and Tobago is a well organized industry where it have been guided by the Beekeeping Act and by the Inspector of Apiaries. Um, any assistance in terms of agricultural incentive can contact the ministry. Any information on site suitability or actually the rearing of the bees or apiary registration, you can contact the Inspector of Apiaries. So again, the industry, the beekeeping industry, is a vibrant industry right now in Trinidad.
Okay, thank you for coming, and we appreciate your attendance. Bye for now.